from. It's a tiny little town. It's actually on the UNESCO World Heritage listed site, and we need masks. Sorry, just you have to have the FFP2 masks to get on the bus. Lady's just asking in front of us, but it's a little town, and it has these like cone dome shaped roofs on all of their houses. It's made out of like stone. They're really cool little places. So we're going to go out and explore that for the day, and then maybe come back via Monopoli, which is a town on the coast, and then head back to Bari for the night. But yeah, it's going to be a cool little town. I'm excited to see it. It's been on my little list of things to go and see for a little while now, so it'll be fun. So they loaded the first bus, and it's left. We've had to wait now for the second one because the other one was full. So even though we purchased a ticket for the 9:15 service, it's valid for the next one, but they just sort of, you buy a ticket, I think, for any part of the day, and you can just get on and then go.
It's crazy because there's like, what, 30 people?
Yeah.
That can get on that bus?
Yeah. So there's another bus just here, which they're going to load, and it will leave at 10, I think they said. So we've got another sort of half an hour. She said it will probably start loading in about 20 minutes, but if the bus is here and there's enough to fill the bus, they could almost like fill it and it could go now too, but they've got a schedule obviously to stick to. But yeah, so we're now waiting for the next bus, which I think will be filled very quickly and then leave very quickly, which is a bonus. We're not having to wait around to fill the bus, and then yeah, we'll be on our way. It. Actually, you can probably see the circle from the masks.
It's awful, isn't it?
And just gotten off the bus at the station, and we're heading up that way to the little village. So we're going to walk up there and explore now. You can see all the little roofs, and this whole region's got them all the way through. So all like the little farms on the way up had the little domed roof buildings, which is very cute. So we'll go and explore this today, and then head on to Monopoli. Oh god, you're going to get hit by the bus. Crazy. The drivers here are absolutely crazy. And the bus driver was just like humming along at one point, just like flying along. But hey, we got here safe and in one piece. That's the main thing. Just, yes. But yeah, fun day. We've made it into like the town centre here, and it's like everywhere, all of the buildings, the tiny little cone roofs made out of stone. They're gorgeous, and like just everywhere you look, it's just so photogenic. It's just so many cute little ones with different things. Some of them have things painted on the roofs. I'll do a bit of research. We didn't do a lot of research coming here about the significance of the roofs and the style, and then also what all of the paintings and things mean. But I will do a bit of a Google on the way back and let you know, because it is very, very cool. And yeah, they've all got different, slightly different tops to them as well. So they're probably all the different significance as well. Whether it was the family or something like that, but they've each got like a different top to them, or style of top. So yeah. The history on the bus on the way back, and they were erected in the 15th century from 1481, and what they are their dwellings were built dry, so they don't use any mortar or anything like that, so they are they've configured them so that they're easy to demolish and rebuild, and then having only to use stones, the peasants found that the round form of the self-supporting domed roof was the simplest configuration. So they're all just sort of stacked on top of each other. It's just like yes, they've built it that way. And then the little things on the top were decorative pinnacles, and they represented, so depending on who built it, the architect who built it would put their signature little bit on the top. So that's why they all have different ones. Some of them have the same, and then others have different ones, because it's like, yeah, the little signature of the architect. So that's very cool. And it's been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1966, which is also quite fun. But yeah, it's very cool. It was a very, very cool little town. There's just hundreds of them. They're just everywhere. But they're really, really cool. So there you go. It's our final night in Italy.
Oh, one moment.
Oh yeah. Quick, mute it before it. We'll just talk over it until it's muted now. We're watching the music channel because it's the only thing in English.
Sometimes.
Sometimes we've also
Italian, Spanish songs.
Yeah, all of the top Italian hits currently for the last 2 weeks. Davide, oh Davide. Yeah, so we now know the Italian hits, but it's fun. But we're having pizza in our Airbnb because, you know, why not? We did have this pizza last night for dinner as well. It was really, really good. So we thought we'd go back because we are also leaving Italy tomorrow. So,
and the waitress was like, "Oh,
I remember you."
Like, oh no, that embarrassing.
We didn't want that to happen, but also we got Coke that was in a glass bottle with a lid, and neither of us have a bottle opener, so Caitlin managed to get it in the end. We both got the seal cracked, and then the lid's off. Caitlin got with the window.
Yay!
So we managed to MacGyver that, because yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of prosciutto.
Yeah, so there's 4 big bundles, one for each slice.
Okay.
That's how they've done it.
Wow.
Yeah, but anyway, delicious pizza. Watching the music channel and just chilling out for the evening, and then we've got all day tomorrow in Bari to kill, the whole day, because we have a ferry to catch to Dubrovnik at 10 p.m, which gets in at 8 a.m. So it's like a 10-hour ferry.
Yay.
Which
I just bought seasick tablets, and I went to the pharmacist and she didn't understand any English. So I was like, motion C. Oh yes.
Oh yes, I know what you want. Travel sickness tablets. Yes. So yeah, that's going to be fun because we're on seats. There was no cabins, unless we wanted to head to Bar,
No.
which is in Montenegro, or yeah,
3 hours north.
Yeah, south. Yeah. So
wrong direction again.
Caitlin's not very good with the geography.
In my head, I know what it is, and then I say it out loud, and I'm like,
you always say the opposite.
I know.
Maybe you need to, when you say it, you just need to say the opposite at each time. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
So our fault.
Yeah, this is true.
You can't say your left and right.
I can't.
Yeah.
I just go my way or your way unless I do the L. I have to do the L with my left hand. Otherwise, I don't know my lefts and rights.
And she goes, just up there. And I'm like, which way?
Which way? My way or her way, depending on what side of the footpath we're standing on. But anyway, We're going to enjoy our dinner now. And
Mangia.
Mangia. We're mangiering, which is the Italian word for eat. We've learnt. Caitlin already knew, but that's a new one I've learnt. So yeah. Bye.
Ciao.
So we've come out to Monopoli, which is just down the coast from Bari. It was like a half an hour train journey, and it was like our Airbnb hosts, they recommended coming this way. So there's a town just before it that is like very touristy and it looks beautiful, but then they said no, go to Monopoli, it's even more beautiful and it's more local and that kind of thing. So we've come to Monopoli and it's beautiful. We're currently at a beach club. Caitlin may have needed to use the bathroom and there is like no public toilets anywhere. Oh, I thought for a second, I was like, wow, it goes out that way, but they're mirrors. Yep, you can see the reflection of the pier out there. So we found a beach club that's literally on the water. It is beautiful, by the way. So we've come here and we've felt obliged to eat, but it's also going to be our last meal, really, in Italy. So we thought we'd have a fancy one. We haven't really had a fancy one for a few days. When was our last fancy meal? When did we treat ourselves? Rome? Yeah, Florence. We had steak at the nice steak restaurant.
Florence.
And those yummy, that pasta you had. So it was the last time we treated ourselves to a fancy meal. We had one in Cinque Terre, one in Florence. But yeah, we've sort of been eating on a budget and chilled out a bit. So thought we'd treat ourselves, and this is very nice. So this is the water that they've served us in. It's in a wine bottle, and it's low mineral content and it's prime water. So that's the fanciest water we've had in Italy. It's probably the most expensive water we're going to have in Italy.
It's like 15 euro for a bottle.
But anyway, hey, the little tiny, there was literally a plastic water bottle that you would buy for 50 cents at the supermarket. I paid €6 for in Rome.
Oh my god, I can't believe that.
But this might be, we've found it's actually been quite reasonably priced, Bari, like because it's a smaller kind of city. Hasn't been too crazy price wise. We had the cheapest though, I think, was in Vico Equense. We had like croissants for breakfast each morning, croissants and coffee, and it was like €3 for a full like homemade fresh croissant and coffee, which was really nice. Yeah, and it was like, I think I got a soy latte and croissant for €3.10. It was silly. But anyway, we're then heading to Dubrovnik this evening. We get on the ferry at 9 and then we are on overnight, which is going to be fun. Caitlin's bought some seasickness tablets, which I'm probably going to pop one too, because
just to be safe. I just don't want to be sick and feel nauseous the whole time, especially because it's 10 hours. So
and I think I'm hoping the boat, because you can get on it with a vehicle, I'm hoping the boat is like the size of like Spirit of Tasmania kind of. That's what we're comparing it to, because that's all we really have reference of. And that it's kind of a bit bigger, so it's maybe not as rocky. But we're on it for 10 hours and then we get into Dubrovnik at 8 AM tomorrow morning, and then have the whole day in Dubrovnik, and everyone's like, it's amazing there. So we're spending a few days there. We haven't figured out fully, but we've got our friend Jessie coming across, so we'll catch up with Jessie, who we worked with at the games, and then just explore for a few days and then figure out what we do. We'll eventually end up in the north of Croatia and then into Slovenia. So yeah, it's been a lovely few days and excited to move on to a new country, visit somewhere new, which is nice. Although it's been nice here because there's a lot of this part of Italy I haven't seen. Caitlin's seen a fair bit of, well, she's seen Sorrento and stuff, but
this is all new.
This is all new, which has been nice to see something a bit different. Yeah. and we're halfway to the port. We're about, say, 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left to the port. And we're walking through the cobblestones with our backpacks on and our case. Well, my case. Not our case. It's my case. She's got her big bag on her back. We're just sitting in front of the church and just chilling out in the shade because, again, very hot and was getting very, very sweaty. But we have plenty of time. But Monopoli was cute. We literally just went, we sat at the beach club and then left, came back on the train, picked our bags up from the Airbnb, and now we find ourselves here in the old town of Bari, which is really cool. It's like nice old streets, very cobblestoney, and the stone they use here gets very shiny, so I can imagine in winter or like when it's wet it would be so slippery. It's like every staircase, every walkway, like even in the dry, it was the same yesterday at how do you say, Alberobello? Yeah. We keep the one with the little dome roofs, but there was like a really steep part of that, and it was this shiny rock again. Like you could have, if it was any wetter, like if it was wet, you would skate down it. Like I'm surprised they haven't put something in place because it's yeah, very slippery. But anyway, that's the stone here. I'll show you. It's very shiny. You can even see how shiny it is from the sun. But yeah. Hold on. I'm holding on. I've got the pole around me. We're on the free shuttle that takes us from the ferry terminal out to get our tickets. And then back. It's like 3 k's down the road on this like bumpy, lovely bumpy road. Yeah, it's just a little bit erratic, so holding on. I've got the pole around me. We've got our bags. It's all a bit of fun. Oh my god. And we only knew we had to get the tickets from here because we read the reviews online. Otherwise you'd have no idea. Yeah, you'd have no idea. And then we also asked the guard at the boom arm at the station, at the terminal, and he spoke hardly any English as well. Hardly any, but he said get on the bus and free and get tickets, and that was it. He said bus. But we got on the bus and went, oh my god, it's all over. It's just a bit chaotic, but it's a bit of fun. Part of it, isn't it? We're going to be on a ferry for 10 hours. Also, check-in doesn't start for another 3 hours? 40. Yeah. We've checked in, but so we made it to the check-in for the ferries. There's not a lot here. It's kind of, we're sitting inside in the terminal on a chair that says no sitting, and there's like all these ticketing desks. But why would you put a chair if you can't sit on it? So we're sitting on it until someone tells us otherwise, because it's nice in the aircon, and people are starting to rock up now. There's like a couple of ferries in the port, so we think, and when we were checking in there was a couple of different companies checking people in, but we've just done our dinner shop, which includes a bag of chippies. I got some form of peanut brittle thing, I don't know. I thought, oh nuts, that might fill me up a little bit. It's a croccante. What did you just say? Croccante, C-A-N-T-E, cante. Croccante. I'm saying that right. I didn't say the C word, if that's what you thought I had said. And then I also got a couple of these little things, which were like €10 each. 10 euro? 0.10. 10 cents. What is this? Do they use cents here? Is it cents? What's it for euro? it's not pence. Pence is British.
Yeah.
10.
No.
They're not 10 euro. 0.10 of a euro. These ones are fruit gold. Goleadors. And then these are like, this is like a raspberry sour strip thingy. I had one before, it was good. So I grabbed a couple of those for some sugar. They're gonna end up in the bottom of my bag. Yeah, so that's our dinner and meal for the next 10 hours. Well, longer now, 12,
So
15 hours. Unless we try to walk back into town, which we're not doing because it's too hot.
If we had somewhere to store our bags, that would be great, but we don't.
No.
And I'm not carrying it back.
No. So we're just gonna sit here
Until we get told off.
very stuffy.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for the lift. I think this is the lift that goes up to the seating area. The cars are driving on around us. They're just driving on, and then there was a man on a truck, in a truck that was literally as we were about to cross the road. He stopped though and let us through. But we've made it to the ferry, which is the first step of the journey. So smooth from here. We're on the ferry. We've made it to the ferry. I look so red. Am I really that
I think it's
red?
just reflecting off your...
That's not better. There you go. I still look red.
We look tired.
It's 10:05 p.m. and the boat is warming up. We were
We hear the engine.
We near the engine. We were sat in our respective seats, well,
Just
semi-respective seats, back through there. But then no one was sitting up the front, and we had some very noisy Americans behind us. Not saying that all Americans are noisy, but these young fellows were very interesting, and we were not going to sit behind them for the next 10 hours.
We had some interesting conversations
about things they may have
they've done.
consumed prior to getting on the ferry, while they were making lots of different noises and not feeling the greatest, quote unquote, them. I looked at Caitlin and I said, we are going to the front. I am not sitting behind them. Not behind, in front of.
But the funny thing is that the seats that were next to Rihanna were actually their seats. And I was like, oh, it's okay, like, we're traveling together, you guys take wherever seats you want. They're like, no worries, bro.
Yeah, no worries, bro. We're fine with where we sit. Thank Christ. Because, oh my god, I've been having kittens the whole evening because
so funny.
This dude was sweating heavily, and
well, we had seen him in check-in, and I looked at him and I was
pacing
like,
around him checking, and we were like, he's wired, absolutely wired. So then what happens? They come in, they check the numbers, and they walk past us, and we thought, great, they're not going to be here. Then they come back round, and then all of a sudden,
they're next to Rihanna.
supposed to sit next to me. Anyway, we said, no, we've come up the front, and because, look, there's literally two people at the front there, and there's honestly no one. And Caitlin went and assessed the restaurants and the bar, and they were both empty. I'm very blurry. Sorry. Very nice angle. That's better.
and there was no one really. One of the restaurants was closed and the bar was open. There was
Like
about 20 people in there.
Yeah.
So we've moved up here. If people come along and say, hey, there are our seats and you need to move, we'll move.
We'll move to that empty seat or that one. Or
We'll
that one.
move to any of the other empty seats that are not our respective seats, because that's not going to be fun. But yeah, so far so good, except that it doesn't have Wi-Fi. What else doesn't it have? It has one toilet,
Yeah, one female toilet.
which is probably not wise, but anyway, is what it is. Hopefully,
But
once we
also,
get-
like, sorry to cut you off.
okay.
Also in the port and like check-in and everything, there's nothing around. Like they could do so much with it. And the check-in system is really weird. Like there was this couple that was standing behind us, and they were. I asked them where they were going, and then she said, "Have you been to check-in?" Like, "Yep." "Have you got your ticket?" And they hadn't got their tickets yet, so they had to catch the bus.
They had
And
the little bus that we were on earlier.
Yeah,
but
the shuttle.
we wouldn't have known about the bus unless we read the reviews, which we read the reviews and they were saying this process
Get
of
there
blah, blah,
early.
blah, blah, blah. So we did that, and then we did ask the guy, the security guard at the boom gate, and he spoke little English but said, yep, get on
Explained
the
it.
free bus, get your tickets, come back to the ferry terminal, which is what we did. But
So I
obviously
just hope
those
that
guys
they made it
missed
back in time.
we haven't seen them, but they might have been walk-on cabin people, because we, like, a lot of the people that were in the queue we haven't seen again. There's like a couple of sporting teams, like basketball teams and stuff, so we think they've all got cabins and they're all sleeping in those, which we wanted to do, but we booked it too late. Yawning already. Well, I've been yawning since about 2 o'clock this afternoon actually, but I
We
feel like
killed
we'll
time
get-
quite well, considering we had all day to kill.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So hopefully we can get a bit of sleep on here. I think we will. I think we'll
I'm knackered.
yeah.
Hopefully they turn the lights down. Or
Yeah,
off
I feel
even.
like they will. Yeah, it's a school teacher. Anyway, that's our update.
Ciao.
Bye. I'll try and open that. Oh, look how bright and shiny we are. That banging has been going since last night. It stopped for a bit and it's starting again. We're coming into shore now. It wasn't the most uncomfortable I've ever slept. Like, I got a fair bit of sleep. Also wasn't the most comfortable. I ended up getting my case and putting it at my feet, so that I could pretty much just extend the chair out. So it was one little bed, which helped because I was trying to prop my legs up on the arm of the chairs at the back, and yeah, it wasn't working. I kept falling over and falling down, like sliding down and stuff, so put the case here and that's helped. It got really cold at one point and I just sort of knuckled down in bed with it because I couldn't be bothered trying to get any other clothes out of my case. Caitlin was really cold. She put her jumper on, she had some leggings in her backpack, so she put those on. And then, yeah, there's like hardly, it's weird. I think everyone's gotten up for breakfast maybe, because we are coming in, and I mean we can all see the coastline, and it's 10 to 7, so I think we're running ahead of schedule maybe, because there's not a lot of people in the other area. Thank goodness not everyone turned up and it wasn't a full ship, so there was plenty of space for people to spread out. So a lot of people have spread out and actually, you know, got some space to sleep, which is good. I'm glad, because it would have been a very long night had it not been. And yeah, there was one point last night where it got so rocky. It was like really rocking, and yeah, like it rocked us awake a few times. We could hear the ocean, so I'm glad we weren't sort of looking out or really, you know, awake to feel how much it was rocking, because yeah, it was getting a bit intense. But lucky we had some seasickness tablets and everything, and I feel fine, Caitlin feels fine. But yeah, that was an experience. It was an easier journey than I thought it was going to be, which is good, but yeah, still a long one for broken sleep, but we're good. Well, we're nearly in Dubrovnik. We haven't landed yet, so when we port, we'll be in Dubrovnik and we'll be able to explore and enjoy the rest of the day. So that crew member, let's just walk through, and he's heading outside. He's having a smoke. Like inside, through the entire cabin, like through the entire boat. And then he stood there talking to a patron at the door with it half open, like you can smell cigarette all the way through the cabin, which blows our mind because smoking hasn't been fine in Australia in like public places for like so long. And he's just having it on the ship, on the boat this morning. Yeah, because it's dark on here, and then you could just see this like glowing cigarette. I'm like, is he having a smoke? And you get hit with the smell of cigarette. So that's also a new experience. Oh dear. Oh my god, too funny.